right, back with another video from the series of Barnes University, what I did, basically for the NFL draft. The other videos, go check them out. Go check out my video analysis, good, bad, and ugly on what the Tennessee Titans did. I think they did very well in this draft. So the fifth pick, let's get down to it, of what I would have done. So every year I go live. I select who I would have taken after my months of tape study. And at this point, the Tennessee Titans need, at that fifth pick, their fifth selection. And I'll put the pick and obviously the round in the caption or in the title of this video. But I went ahead and taken a offensive lineman in Kellen Diesch out of Arizona State. Now, this is a pick that will catch flack, and usually when I do this practice, if you usually draft a player that even the NFL didn't want to draft, there's obviously some some discourse that needs to be had, right? So Kellen Diesch, he ended up not being drafted, and at this point, this pick is like top 150. It's not yet in the 200s. There were 262 picks this year, and he was not one of them. One of the biggest reasons that when I'm talking to some people who may know more than me, and talking about offensive tackle is a position that I've been, obviously I didn't play offensive tackle. They were usually the people on the team that I got along with the most in terms of just naturally vibing with bigger players. But just talking around and asking about why he could have slid was, his arm length. He had, I think, 32-inch arms or less. And I think that, there's a threshold that NFL teams want in terms of arm length. When I watched tape, it didn't look like it bothered him or it mattered too much when you actually watch tape. He has great grip strength, so when he got a hold of people, those long arm that disadvantage that supposedly was supposed to happen never happened. If anything, he got beat with speed off the edge at times, but once again, just like with the Malik Willis thing, you had the experts saying he was going to go number 2. At the latest, number 20. He ended up going 86 in the third round, right? Just like the expert said that, Kellen Diesch was a consensus top 5, top 6 offensive tackle in this draft class from the experts, right? And I'm talking about people who literally study just offensive line. He was a top 5, top 6 guy, and it ended up going undrafted. This isn't an example. A lot of people like that just proves you guys don't know what the NFL knows. No, because there's more undrafted players that are Hall of Famers than anything. That means that people didn't know, right? So yeah, there's more undrafted Hall of Famers than there are, I think, first round picks. So that just goes to just show it. For one, you put the praise on God, and you put the praise on the player for overcoming that. But like at the end of the day, like that isn't like what people think of it is. Oh, he wasn't even drafted, so they will point the finger and say that your evaluation was wrong. No, it was it goes by really a year by year basis, because it could be different in a year. And this year, people didn't want to take that chance on Kellen Diesch. And there's some other thing. He's older. I think he's going to be 25 when the season starts, or older. And I would have to say the interviews that I watched, he's not a player that's super jovial and expressive. He's kind of, he kind of sees the interview process as a chore, so there could be some things personality wise. It could be age. It could be arm length. But talent and execution was not a problem. Experience, I would say, would be a little bit different because, you know, his journey is one where he was around Texas A&M and he didn't really crack the starting lineup. Then went to Arizona State. Finally cracked the starting lineup and did well. I think he has less than 1,000 career snaps. So that could be a thing. He's older with not that much experience. I get it. But the talent was there, and it's your job to coach. It's your coach's job to coach. So and kind of make that talent come out. And this is what I don't get about age. Like unless the player is like experiencing arthritis or something, the average NFL player only plays 3 to 4 years. So if you drafted somebody that is 26 or 27, if he makes it past 30, you already executed above average anyway. So age is a weird topic that I don't really understand in the NFL. Like unless it's deteriorating the player, I don't understand. You're getting 4 5 good years out of the player anyway. There's a good chance if the player's really good and you drafted him late, you have more leverage when it comes to a second contract. Yeah, that means that he's older, and if he played really well, you have the leverages in your court. You're older, bro. Like the fact that we took a chance on you, and this is not, this is talking into the future on these things, but you have all the leverage in the world, right? We took a chance on you as a late and an older pick, I should say. Not a late round, but an older pick. We took a chance on you. I think the Bears are dealing with that with Velus Jones. He's an older wide receiver taken. If he goes off, has a Cordero Patterson type of career in his first 2 or 3 years, he's going to be almost 30. The leverage is going to be on the Bears side because you're a 30-year-old now. You're going to have to take a friendly deal, more than likely, or walk. But, so some of the things that I like with Kellen Diesch is, the grip strength, the footwork. I think that he has a frame to get heavier and get stronger. So he was a project. So, but for me, for the Titans, they took Nicholas Petit-Frere. I like to really say the French name. It's like a French spelling. Petit-Frere. Or most people just say Nicholas Petit-Frere, because they don't really know the exact way to say it. But anyway, I think he's a player that has big game experience, but against that big game experience, he has not played his best. I think that he has a good frame as well, good work ethic, good footwork. Can improve that though, for sure. And I feel like those players, I had Diesch right there with, NPF. We're just gonna nickname him NPF. NPF and Kellen Diesch is right there, so I feel like it would be a coin flip if they even took, Diesch there. So, probably more Diesch looks the part more for what they want in terms of looking like a guy that can be a road grader. I don't necessarily view Kellen Diesch as a road grader. I view him as a finesse offensive lineman. And obviously Diesch played left tackle, so he would also have to grow through and learn and have those growing pains learning right tackle. But I also had Braxton Jones on my radar, who ended up being taken by the Bears as well. There's a little Bears connection there, but ended up being taken by the Bears, and I loved his game too. He does have the long arms. Lets power affect him a lot, get pushed back a little bit, but all this is about coaching, right? It's about coaching. But anyway, that's who I would have taken. Stay tuned for the next video.